In this video, we'll be fixing the corn head and making repairs to the combine, from wear parts that need replaced to broken parts that were clanging and banging at the end of last season. Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the first time we're getting the combine out to get it all ready for fall. I actually had it at Van Wall, our local dealership, and they did a lot of feeder house repairs and spent a lot of money on the feeder house here. And so there's a couple of stuff that we need to get done here too that Mark and Bryce, my neighbors, are gonna help me fix, because Bryce, our neighbor, he is a heck of a mechanic and he knows all about these combines, all about equipment, and so he's gonna kind of walk us through some stuff and we're gonna work with him. It's been a while since I've been in the combine. I gotta figure out where all these lights are. We got the hazards there. Feels like harvest already. People got their wagons out, rolling. Nah, we're still like a month away. Boy, I'm excited for harvest. This year, 150 acres, my farm, and then both me and Spencer's farms are combined together. And then I've got my farm down south that's like 103, 104 acres. And I think I'm just gonna have somebody custom combine that. And for beans, somebody can knock it out quick for me. And so I'm just working on getting that lined up with the guy that I think is gonna do it. So we're gonna get the corn head hooked up here and we're gonna run it, and Bryce is gonna kind of see what he thinks is wrong here with this. Yes, I guess. Oh. Now I feel stupid because I felt like we looked at this tons of times. The row that was plugging up a ton was, I gotta look back at footage, but I think it was row 3 or something like that. Yeah.
Oh no, baby, don't do it. Sometimes you gotta sing to her.
When you're running it last year and you're finishing up and you're clanging and banging, that's obviously that's it, because what was clanging and banging was probably your roll.
Yeah. Gotcha. Bryce diagnosed all the issues with the corn head, and first thing to do is get this outside row fixed.
It's supposed to be threaded all the way through there.
Good. Everything came out.
Those ones, yeah.
Woohoo! Bryce got this pulled off, so that's the good one. And then that way we don't have to get a whole new thing. We'll get a new shaft with threads and new seals. It didn't turn as good too. This one turns really nice. Bryce got the unit rebuilt and a new rod installed, so now the roller won't be banging around and actually feed the corn head correctly. They got everything tightened down and installed gathering chains and tightened to the proper specs. Now it wasn't until later that we actually saw the reason why the roller shaft broke in the first place. So we didn't see these U-bolt brackets right here. Should be one right there, and that's probably why this whole entire thing broke off. We need to get one of those right there and fix that bolt probably. So this thing was flapping around when we turned it on. Okay, I see. So this thing's hanging on by one out of 4 bolts. All right, we got one of them off, so hopefully we can get some more. Got the forklift, taking some weight off, it helps. Now the whole unit will stay and not break off again. That was probably our issue. Next up on the corn head is row 3 slip clutch. It was going out last harvest, and that's where we had all that bunching up. Here you can see what a bad one looks like versus a brand new slip clutch. The bad part is we have to take the whole entire corn head drive shaft out just to get to and replace that one unit. All right, this is the end of the shaft right here. We're gonna pull it out and it'll probably hit the wall. Put the bolt back in a loop and then we'll pull. I'll go take a look real quick. So that's the bar we're sliding. We slid it. It was all the way down there. We slid it through. This is the shaft we're pulling out. There we go. Yeah, you can go some more if you want. It probably wouldn't hurt, but it's good too. There you go. You're good. So then this is what we're gonna take off. So this is what a normal slip clutch should look like. You see the alligator teeth coming together. It's nice and grooved, and then on this one you can see the teeth are all worn out and they're actually not interlocked. And so it might have been because this bolt was broken, Bryce was saying, so it wasn't squeezing, the spring wasn't like suction tight enough. Now my understanding is the slip clutch's job is to save the expensive gearbox in the row unit when, say, a rock gets jammed between the rollers, the slip clutch teeth disengage and the gearbox stops from being stripped out. Now with this clutch being worn out and rounded off, whenever we got into just moderately strong corn stalks, the row unit and rollers would stop spinning because the force it took to grab these corn stalks and pull them down was greater than the spring tension from the worn out clutch. So the gearbox would also stop spinning and feeding the head, so then we'd plug up the whole row and have to stop the combine. So now it's time to get it replaced. So yeah, one of these bolts must have sheared off. Broke.
So that guy can come out there.
Nice.
There we go. There should be a washer and a spacer in there.
Spacer fell between your
I got the
legs.
spacer. Yeah, and you see that star that sits on there? That's what goes on that. What does all your slipping is this.
Gotcha.
That just gets that.
And that paint not being green right there is it got hot.
Because it got hot. Yep.
Dang. Like something like that could start a fire maybe. Or,
If you got, especially on a
bunch of
chopping head,
stalks. Yeah.
or if you're out in dry, really dry stalks,
it just gets on the ground.
it's hot. Or if it'll sometimes they throw sparks.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yep.
There you go, you ready?
Good to go there. We'll just have to turn it to match with the shaft as we go through. All right, we got the slip clutch installed. Now we need to get the shaft back in, line it up. Ready, Grant?
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, it's going.
Brand new, polyized, and Friday.
The head's put back together and 2 major pieces fixed. Now it's time to work on the combine, and Grant's going on a parts run.
Okay, so we've got our entire parts list. It's like 18 pages. We're not doing everything though, but we've got most of our parts ordered. Biggest one is this unload auger, so I'm gonna get the trailer. It is super nice learning all this with Bryce, kind of watching him do it, helping him a little bit, even though I'm not that much of a help and not much of a mechanic at all, but it's kind of cool learning all this stuff. Okay, should be good to go. Like I said previously, the feeder house was in major need of repair. Me and Spencer, last season before harvest, we kind of just like spot welded some of the like cracks or rips in the feeder house floors.
And that's kind of how we got it to turn out. So it's much smoother now when you run your hand across it, like before you go and then hit a big bump. So that's kind of what was happening with this one. And then also there's some cracks on the drum. So I think the fear is you have it too low, it hits that lip and this whole drum shatters. You can't see any cracks right now, but once you spin it around, you can.
So the whole feeder house floor got replaced. The whole feeder house drum did. All the sprockets, all the chains, like everything. I think I ended up spending like 14 or 15 grand just on the feeder house alone, but there's still more stuff. And so some of the little more easier stuff we're kind of just doing with Bryce, and it works awesome. Everything's loaded down. We should be good to go. We were unsure of one of the parts as the tag was missing, but I'm pretty sure we got the right unload auger.
All right, Grant just went and got a couple augers, some other parts. Bryce got the auger off there, so we'll get that down, put new ones in. This one's really thin and worn out. This right here, so the corn, it's probably lifted, some of it's coming off the side. Then here's the new one, so much thicker, and then it's even. You saw how it was wavy. So that's the auger that you see, the grain pile of the corn on top of the hopper. So this is the new one, it's way thicker. We don't have those, it's cracked and torn. Just the chute wears out.
Yeah, no hole there.
Yeah, no hole on the side. Yeah, compare that to. There you go.
You ever drop stuff down the combine and then when it's fired up, it goes up the auger?
This is the upper sprocket on the clean grain elevator. So you can see all that is carved out. The bottom one wasn't as bad.
Yeah, so like if your chain wears out and you don't have to do anything with your sprockets and you're just replacing your chain,
Just do this.
you hook it. You hook the new one to the old one,
Send it up.
and then you pull it all the way through.
Gotcha,
And then it'll thread itself.
Yep,
back.
yep. Yep.
Actually gonna come fast pretty soon.
All right. You're right.
Get it?
Yep. So it's a new gathering chain, old one's out, and we gotta somehow fish it up to the top. All right, I got it. It's on, yeah, you only got like another foot or two till it's off the ground.
Yeah.
3 more panels hanging.
Shit.
Now the unloading auger is worn out and needs replaced, as well as it's not timed correctly with the vertical auger. So someone must have replaced that years back, but not the unloading auger.
Now you're gonna start and raise it up. Let's keep going. There you go. Now it's back up. That's pretty good.
last big part here. It's the unloading auger, and we ordered the wrong part, so this is we had to postpone our work for like a day, so it was nice they got it in. The one we accidentally ordered was 2 or 3 feet too short. So this is the right one. Put it in. We'll be good to go. Bryce got the combine backed out and we'll put it in on the outside.
Yep, that end's gotta go in first. Alright, that'll be good.
Brakes are a little different.
Yeah, it takes, basically you gotta stomp on them to get them to go. Alright. Oh, raise it up. Alright, go. Go up some more. Up. Yep. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Alright, now go in. Right a little bit.
Yep.
There you go. Alright. Let it down some.
Down.
Alright. Alrighty.
Alright, backing up.
Bryce got the augers installed and timed up correctly. Then he reinstalled all the plastic parts and lights. While he was doing that, we got all the gathering chains to the proper tension and pumped new corn head grease in the row gearboxes. In total, it was about 2 full working days between 3 guys to get everything replaced and fixed. Bryce worked on many more things off camera, replacing many more bearings and seals that were going bad. He even got the concaves leveled by making an adjustment to a piece that was installed incorrectly. During that, we changed oil and filters, with one hydraulic filter being last changed in 2014. That was probably pretty good we did that. Now, shout out to Bryce and Mark and the shop space they provided us, because that was a 2 to 3 day project, and that would have been 2 or 3 times as long if it was just me and Spencer doing it. Now it's time to do some yield checks and see how things turned out this year. We had a horrible start to the year and somehow a magical finish. We got done quick and swung by the cornfield, my only cornfield. And we're gonna go pull some ears. Check it out. Pro Farmer Tour is going on at the same time, so kind of gets you in the mood of pulling ears. So we're gonna go check out some hybrids in our hybrid plot, and we've got some good ones. I'm probably only gonna grab the Whiffles and Pioneer corn now. I could go pull every single hybrid ear and compare them, but I'm gonna just pull some of the hybrids that I know to be pretty dominant, and we'll just check them out and compare them. This is my 60-inch row, and this is where the plot starts. On the right is our end rows, on the left is where the plot starts. If I ever do a plot again, I'm putting like a 60, this 16-inch row is so nice to walk through and check out the corn. Holy Toledo, that is insane. Obviously you got a 60-inch gap though, so it's not really what this ear's gonna look like, but my gosh. Now, as you guys can see here, check this out, which this isn't good. Obviously we're in the 60-inch row, so you're gonna see a little more damage, but we got some hail damage. Twice we got hail damage. And I'm assuming that's gonna take some of the top end yield off this with grain fill. I don't know, I have no clue. I'm no expert at all, so, but I'm assuming this hail damage, not as much sunlight capturing the top of leaves, more getting to the ground. I'm assuming we're gonna lose some yield from the hail, but I don't know. Go through here, 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is looking to be pretty darn amazing so far, as far as what I'm seeing. I haven't unwrapped any of these ears. A couple things I have to state. This part of the plot is over a tile line. I'm guessing when we go off the tile line, like the 30 foot of tile line that's running north-south, like that's a stretch that this is over. I'm guessing we're gonna see a lot of difference when we go to to ground that doesn't have good drainage underneath it. So I want to be very clear here. This is looking, as far as kernel counts and size and stuff, I think this is going to be better than last year. Whether we have the grain fill or not, I have no clue. Because last year, a lot of the corn, I was counting kernel counts of like 220, 230 bushels per acre. And then we got into the corn, it was 300 bushels per acre in those spots. And then also on Spencer's corn, we were counting kernel counts of like 270. And it was like 220, 230 or something like that. So it ended up being opposite both ways at times. Ooh. I tried to take ears from the most even spots where they had good stand, not ones that were super close together or super far apart. Unfortunately, I didn't do the best job planning, and our singulation was really not the best. Like, even going pulling ears, it was not that good. Something we're gonna have to work on next year. Wyffels 7945. This is not Smart Stacks trade at all. This is corn on corn. How do we have tip back? I don't know. I don't think I planned it that heavy. We didn't plant like crazy heavy, so I'm not sure how we have tip back there. But Wyffels 7945. Last year, in my farm down south, this was an awesome hybrid. Awesome. Had great yields with this. So we do have a lot of tip back though, which is surprising because we've had moisture. So this is Pioneer 1742Q. This last year was like an awesome hybrid I seen on just people's yield trials around the Midwest. So this is the first time planting this on our hybrid plot. So it's filled out all the way. We're gonna see this hybrid. I can't lie, it's right over a clay tile line that I found this spring. And this is a new farm, so I don't know where the tile really is, but I ended up finding this tile line this spring, and I was like, dang, it's right over the tile line, because I could see how good the corn was right over the tile line. Wow. 1742Q absolutely has a monster ear, all filled out to the top. We'll do some kernel counts on it. 14830, Pioneer 14830, filled out pretty much all the way. I'm gonna do some ear counts here. Okay, so I did some yield estimating. So we got 7945 came in at 42 by 18 and 36 by 18 on these ears. Yield estimate, this I don't think is accurate. It could swing 40 bushel either way. But yield estimate is 259 on Wyffels 7945. And then if we go to Pioneer 1742Q, we have an ear that's 40 by 16 and 44 by 16. That yield estimate comes to 246. I didn't do accurate counts of our true stand. I planned at around 34,000, and so I put the stand number around 33,000. So there's a chance it's probably lower than that for sure. So that comes in at 246, give or take 40 bushel either way, I'd say, which isn't that accurate. Pioneer 14830, I forgot if it's a chrome number or not, has a ear that is 48 by 16 and an ear that's 47 by 16. That estimate comes in at 281 on Pioneer 14830. I think that's the hybrid that David Hula said is record of like 600 bushel per acre corn. I'm pretty sure that's a hybrid. I actually joined a program called Total Acre with David Hula to learn more about this, because I do not know anything about agronomy, anything about growing corn. Like, my education is in economics at Iowa State, and I was never taught this. So hopefully over the years I can learn a few things about growing corn and beans here. That's our estimates. I'm very curious to see how this plot turns out. I can take some yield estimates or some yield guarantees from hybrids that are right next to each other, but when it goes from one end of the plot to the other of the plot, it's not going to be true even, and these results will be skewed a little bit because we don't have proper drainage in part of the plot area. It is what it is. We're going to fix that come this fall. I do also have to note that the 14830, the hybrid that said 281, kernel size is a lot smaller than 1742Q and Wyffels 7945. And when we had that last year and kernel size was a lot smaller, that ended up being where the yield estimate was way too high too. So this is just a very generic yield estimate. I bet you this comes in below 280 for sure. Now that we got the combine done, it's time to put it in storage for the next month till harvest starts. Okay, the combine is back and put away in storage, but to show you guys, I didn't show you guys much of the feeder house yet. So pretty much everything got replaced that has to do with feeder house. So all the chains got replaced. This was all done by Deere. The feeder house floor down here was in major need of repair. Me and Spencer welded that last fall, like a terrible job, but it got us by through the fall. The whole drum was cracked, needed replaced. These chains, needed completely replaced, so all these got replaced. All sprockets got replaced here in the feeder house, and even your all belts got replaced. Oil in the reverser got changed. Pretty much everything to do with the feeder house got done. This is gonna be technically the 4th year that I run this combine. And this is really the first major time we've done major repairs to it, besides greasing it, servicing fuel filters, oil, stuff like that. Otherwise, we've never really done major repairs to it. So I knew I was gonna have a big bill by the end of this. And I think I'm gonna get some questions on how much we spent. I've spent right between $21,000 and $23,000 on repairs this year in the combine, including some labor costs and stuff like that. So it could have been more, but to be fair, since I haven't done major repairs in 4 years, and since we don't run a lot of acres, I mean, theoretically, my grandchildren will probably be able to run this combine and not have to repair it. So hopefully over the next years, there's no major issues with this combine. So I think the only other thing we gotta do to this combine, and it's not the combine, is that bean header. The bean header, there's a lot of sickles that need replaced. We gotta go through that. And then one thing I didn't take into account in the past is I think we need to make sure that bean head is perfectly level to the ground and level the feeder house with it. That's something I've never checked in the past. So that's one thing. We'll hook up the combine to the bean head, make sure that's all level before we go cut beans. It's one thing I probably should have been checking in the past. Also, if you see that camper back there, that is our camper, which we did sell. It's just one of my buddies, Scott, he was the one that bought it. And they're building a shed right now. So he's storing it here until he gets his shed built. Harvest is 2 to 4 weeks out, probably 3 to 4 weeks out, most likely. I'm guessing around that September 20th to September 26th timeframe is when we'll be cutting beans, considering I planted them early and they're 2.5 beans. We got fungicide on them. I'm guessing somewhere around there. And then corn, probably start corn 1st or 2nd week of October. That's what I'm guessing. Anyways, guys, seriously, thanks for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys in the next one.